Brownsville, Brooklyn's own, Ontario, Canada's own. Joining me here on the show here tonight, Mad Max Radio, Live 365, iHeartRadio, Sports Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max. Jay Swishes is in the building. Jay, how's it going, man?
Shit, bro, just working. See where I'm at. I'm in the studio right now.
That's right. You already working. I know you have the third project on the way right now, but is this something that's going to be preparing for after the third project?
Yeah, I'm always working. Like I never stop recording. I never like it's just a continuous thing. Like I'm in the studio mostly like every day of the week. And how I put my projects together is like it depends on the mood I'm going for, the season. All of that plays a part into like what I'm trying to convey and like my projects and stuff like that.
Something that's interesting with your story and your music is that you're not afraid to convey your messages and the feelings that you're going through in your life. So what are you currently going through right now that we could expect off this upcoming project, if you feel free at sharing that?
I mean, it's gonna be like right now, you know, it's a season of like mental health and stuff like that. A lot of people go through a lot of things like, you know, up there in that sense. So I'm gonna be talking about like the way that I deal with like my mental state, basically, like my ups and downs and stuff and my struggles like that. And also too, you know, it's not just completely all of that, because you know, also too, it's cuffing season and heartbreak season and all of that. So you know, I'm gonna be talking. The women, they love that song. They love that song.
That's my favorite song from you. Just by listening to it, I went through your whole catalog. There's just something about that. That's a hit maker to me.
Nah, I appreciate that, bro. For real. Thank you.
Lemons to Lemonade. You have a lot of interesting songs on there that conveys a message, and my condolences with what happened to your mom and learning about her background because she was a gospel singer.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Man.
And yeah, that she was my I feel she was my fan before I had any fans. You know what I'm saying? She's the one that really made me want to pursue music.
For sure. And doing my research behind the scenes and everything, when you told your parents that you wanted to rap, I heard that they weren't really fond of it at first. Is that right?
Yeah, because they feel like there's like no money in music because they're not in tune to what's going on right now. They don't know that there's a lot of artists that's really making a great living off of music. They're like stuck in like the old days, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Biggie and stuff like way back. They're not in tune. They wasn't in tune to what's going on type shit. They wanted me to be like a doctor or some shit like that. But that's not me. But most West Indian parents, they want their kids to be something of that nature, like a doctor or some shit. But it wasn't my thing.
Your major influences are Drake and Tory Lanez. I know that already, especially coming from Canada. You've been in the room with Tory Lanez. We'll get into that. But once you come to the States, you come to Brooklyn, Brownsville. You were in a Target in Maryland. You picked up Epiphany by T-Pain. Buy You a Drink. That was the first hip hop album that introduced you into the waves here and wanted you to get started.
Right. Yeah, that's the first album that I ever bought. Like I went into the store and got it, and it really just like something fresh to my ears. Like the melodies, the melodies he was using, and the thing about it, T-Pain could really sing. So he was using the auto-tune and really singing, so it just made it sound extra crazy. I'm like, oh shit, like what is this? Like that's what made me fall in love with like melodies and shit like that, for real.
Johnny Catflow was the one who brought you around on tour. You learned a lot from him, and even being in these rooms with Tory Lanez. So tell me what you learned from Tory Lanez while being in that room.
Definitely work ethic. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be the best, you got to outwork everybody. You know what I'm saying? Especially not only outworking the people that you see, it's also outworking that kid in his room who's super hungry, who's making 100 songs a day. You know what I'm saying? And with Tory, he's gonna go song after song after song after song, just literally just recording, no sleep type shit.
And so, I like how versatile he is too.
Right. So, you know, I'm a versatile artist, but everything I do is still gonna be me, still gonna be my sound. But you know, there's a lot of things that I could do. And sometimes the thing about you might have to hold back till you get to a certain level to show people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they ready for this.
Exactly. And I could just tell from that, from listening to your 2 EPs already, and you got a third one on the way from I'm Him, I'm Really Him. And it's really something to boost your confidence up when you want people, especially your fans, to feel good. You want them to look at themselves in the mirror and say that I'm the person, this is really him who's in the mirror, and building up the confidence. Because you said before, with everyone going through the mental health struggles from nowadays. So was there ever a feeling, because you convey your feelings through your music, was there ever a time when you felt held back on not wanting to really put out there how you were feeling about yourself?
Nah, never, because I want people to relate to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be an open book. I'm gonna lay my laundry out in my music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not scared to talk about my faults. I'm not scared to talk about the fucked up shit that I did or that I'm doing or whatever it is, because somebody could relate, and that's what music is about. So I don't care about, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna talk about it. If I'm going through it, I'm gonna talk about it.
No,
You know
that's
what I'm
real.
saying?
Drake and Tory Lanez, two major inspirations I brought up before. What are your thoughts on Tory Lanez sending him all these features and all these songs these years, and Drake just ducking his requests?
Man, I would say this. I'm glad that Tory didn't feed into having people wanting him to beef with Drake. You know what I'm saying? He never said anything out crazy and stuff like that. And maybe when the time is right, it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? They both two talented artists. They both could stand on their own 2 feet. And when it's the right time, it's just gonna be the right time. Maybe it's just not the right time right now. So
Because I know Drake kind of went to bat for him a little bit on the new collaboration tape with 21 Savage, and
yeah,
that became a
allegedly,
controversial
allegedly.
line. So let's see if they eventually link up here. That'd be big for the whole candidate scene for them to get on the
Yeah,
track together. That would be huge, especially with the
that's
back and
super
forth from all
huge.
the years. That would be
Bro, that
huge.
what if that record is gonna go stupid crazy, like crazy. Like, you know.
And Tory Lane's new album was fire too.
So yeah, fire for real. To be honest, like I don't think Tory has not one bad album,
Mm.
in my opinion. Like I really think that he's that good. Like I don't think he has any bad albums. Like I really fuck with his music.
He really impressed me when he did Alone at Prom. The fact that he said, "I'm going to take an '80s concept album and just make it
Who's
my
doing
own."
that?
No
Who's
one's
who's
doing that.
who's doing that? That's
Yeah.
so different. Like it's to tell you like his talent, like he's a super talented nigga, like for real. So,
Absolutely. And I look forward to even seeing you work with him, especially other people that you work with. I want to get into this feature with John Wicc and working with Rowdy Rebel. So tell me how this came about.
so basically, it was the record originally was just me on it, and what had happened was some through different channels, Rowdy heard the record, he fucked with it and decided to get on it. So we linked up in the studio and we made it happen. And yeah, that's it. And then we shot the video, and that's how that shit came about. And I just played not too long ago, in a couple of days ago, in a celebrity game with Rowdy, basketball game.
Wow. How was that?
Shit was dope. It was dope. Rowdy get busy on the court. He get busy on the
I
court.
heard that you can because that's where your name came from.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, I do my thing. I do my thing. I do my thing. But you
Okay.
know, I took a little backseat from playing ball because I'm just so focused on music now. I'm not as nice as I was before, but I still get busy.
Who's the nicest baller rapper of all time, in your opinion?
Rapper,
Yeah, basketball player.
mm, damn, I feel like Chris Brown is really nice, but he's not a rapper though. But he's really fucking nice. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm trying to think. Um, I mean, you could say. I mean, Shaq was a rapper. Kobe was a
Yeah.
rapper. So you know what I'm saying. You could. That's the cheat code right there. But
Yeah.
like, you could say them two. Shit.
You can go with them, but you have so many other interests, not even just in music. Fashion is something that you take part in. You actually go and pick out the fabrics for your own clothing line with no
Mhm.
landing. I think I was
Yeah,
reading
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's soon be on the way. Yeah, I really love fashion because I feel like that's another way that I could express myself without music. You know what I'm saying? And I just love how clothes make you feel. When you look good, you feel good. So when I'm creating my line, it's definitely gonna make you feel good about yourself, and it's gonna be quality. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel like you really bought something that's worth the bread, that's worth the money. You know what I'm saying? It's not no bullshit, and it's not. I want to make it clear that it's not merch. It's actually a line.
That's
You know what I'm
fire.
saying?
I'll
Right.
be looking forward to that, and especially the designs that you have now. When it comes to fashion, what's more important, the price slash brand, or how it looks? Because people often go to get something if it's the
Mhm.
brand.
I feel like how it looks and how it feels, the fabric itself, how it looks and how it feels is more important than the brand. Because I see a lot of like, designer shit, and I just be like, that shit is trash. Like me, I don't give a fuck about like brand name. Do I like designer shit? Yeah. Do I have designer shit? Yeah, I do. But it's not about that, because you can wear designer from head to toe and look stupid. It's really how you put that shit on. You feel me? And I feel like I know how to put things together. I could look at something, if it's $10, if I think it's fire, I'm gonna wear it. You know what I'm saying? So
In your
that's how I.
mind,
That's
I want you to drop some fire right here. What's an overrated brand coming from your own someone that's in the fashion world and having his own line? What's an overrated designer brand in your mind?
overrated designer brand. Damn, that's tough. I feel like, because it's hard to say, because I feel like designer period is kind of like overrated, because I feel like people put too much into like the different designer brands, that they feel like if you just got that shit on, oh, I'm fly, when it's really not the case. Like wearing designer shit doesn't just make you fly, it's how you put it together and how you put it on. So I'll say like designer period is kind of like overrated type shit, even though I do fuck with designer. So I would say that. I can't pick out any particular brand in itself.
Mm. I want to get into I'm Really Him with this new EP. Tell me, how is it working with Kranium?
Nah, that shit was dope. Kranium is a super dope artist. He heard the record through Ron from Def Jam, decided to get on it, and then we got into the studio, and it was just a vibe. He was telling me like all the places that he been in, like for example like the UK, how they're so open to different forms of music. Like their ears is like more open than anywhere else. He was telling me just like experiences that he deal with, like going to different countries, and how people was receiving the music and stuff like that. So it was definitely like more past the feature and past just the song that we worked on. It was dope just chopping it up and just him telling me like certain things that I haven't even experienced yet, like really like going out like overseas and performing and stuff like that. I haven't reached there yet, but it was dope to like hear about it and shit like that, because I soon be on my way.
Absolutely. You're really going to be on your way here, especially me listening to the two EPs. I really think you're one of the up and coming superstars in hip hop right now. People, they can keep sleeping until the bed breaks, as Tory Lanez says in his song. So, but this is soon coming right now. And when we really look at it, because you have both landscapes, because you come from Canada, you've been in Brownsville, Brooklyn. What's something that you were able to take away from both Canada and the U.S. that you were able to apply to your craft? It could be on the business side of music, anything.
um I would really say that most of like all my development when it comes to music is really from being out here, like in like Brownsville and stuff like that. I feel like being out here really crafted like how I look at music and stuff like that. And me being around like people like Johnny Cashflow, Tory, even my mom put me on to certain things about like musically related. So I would say it's really like people in the environment that I've been around that really like, develop my knowledge on music. And I'm still learning. I'm a student of the game. Like I have a really dope manager. Shout out to Panama, shout out to Solo. But when Panama came along my team, I did learn a lot, because he don't work with like a lot of like people, and he's well connected. So I'm just soaking up game. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to them. And I heard that they're not the typical yes men, because they're real critical, especially in your performances when you rehearse for these things. You rehearse in your own studio, and they tell you if you're messing up.
Yeah, for sure. Like I feel like having a team that keep it all the way 100 with you and hard on you, it's like tough love. Like you know what I'm saying? If you want to be the best, you got to be able to take criticism. You can't be sensitive. Like I'm not a sensitive nigga. Like that's why I'm never gonna drop any whack shit. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna drop no trash, because the people around me is not gonna let me drop no trash ass shit. You know what I'm saying? And I really take this music thing seriously. It's not just about money. I love music. I love what I put out to the world and what I present. So everything that I present, it gotta be the best. Otherwise, it's not coming out.
And I appreciate you being so different in this music genre, because when I did my research on you, a lot of people are asking you, "Oh, how come you're not a drill artist because you're from Brooklyn?" And that's the trendy thing. I'm for people doing something unique. Stop following the wave, make a name for yourself, because in the end, these people that are following the one trend, they're all going to die out. We're not going to talk about them in 20 years. We'll be talking
Right,
about Pop Smoke and Fabio, but we're not going to be talking about too many more of them. It's
right,
just, it
right.
is what
And
it is.
And my thing about it is I'm trying to make like the people that I look up to musically, they make timeless music. That means that I could go back to a song that they did a decade ago, or 8 years ago, whatever, and it's still slapping to this day. Like that's what I want. Like I want people's kids to know Jay Swishes. And in order for that to happen, I have to make music that's gonna stand the test of time. You feel me? So that's where my drive comes from when it comes to making the type of music that I make. And I'm fine being the outlier. People going this way, why would I want to be over there? I'm gonna stand on over here. That's what makes me different.
Exactly. And speaking of music that stood the test of time, Brownsville, we know MOPs came out of Brownsville. So how well versed are you with MOP, and how much have they played an inspiration into your music as well?
I did my research and go back and stuff like that, but as of like influence wise,
Yeah.
I can't say that they influenced, but I definitely did my research and went back and tapped in, as I should.
Yeah, legends in the game right now. Who's a legend that you would love to work with? Because I know we always going to get into the future collaboration, but who's a '90s legend you would love to get on a track with?
A '90s legend.
Mhm.
Um, Shit, I would love to do a record with Diddy. To be
Mm.
honest, I would love to do a record with Diddy. Um, my my favorite, like one of my in my top five, I really fuck with Styles P. I would like to do
Okay,
a
from the
record.
locks.
Yeah, I really fuck with Styles P. I would like to do a record with him, like because I feel like Styles P is like underrated. I feel like he's super dope.
Yeah, Jadakiss is always overshadows him when it comes in the locks, but to me, Styles P lyrically, I
Lyrically, I
think,
always say that.
yeah,
I always get into debates with people about that, but it's all good.
yeah, no, I agree with you on that 100%. With performances, I know you were taking a little bit of a hiatus, just a step back at a time, but you're looking to pick things back up. What's been the highlight performance for you thus far throughout your career?
I feel like I had did a show last year with Ken Carson, that's Playboy Cardi's artist,
Mhm.
at the Brooklyn Mirage, and it was like a sold out show. It was really dope. I feel like that was one of the biggest shows that I did. It was packed from the gate in front of it to all the way to the back. Like it was such a vibe.
I want to see you on that Summer Jam stage.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I want to touch the Summer Jam stage, and I want to touch Rolling Loud stage as well. Like I feel like I would shut both of them shits down. So
Coachella.
for sure. And I feel like I got the type of records that I got, I could do all of those. So right now I'm just trying to, keep working, keep building up the buzz, keep building up my fan base. That way I could get on those stages.
Mhm. I wanted to get into a couple topics here. I know your me and your manager were talking back and forth here. I want your thoughts on the whole Deion Sanders thing that's been going on right now.
hmm Um, well, I'm not too versed with the Deion Sanders situation. Can you break it down for me, like what's been going on
I've been hearing
about
that
that?
he's going to be taking an offer with Colorado. I was reading about that. He's leaving his own black college, and he's going to
hmm
be going to Colorado because he got a better offer supposedly.
Right.
So, what are your
I feel
thoughts
like
on that?
I feel like people do what's best for them. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what the behind the scenes is if you're not on the person's team. And certain times, like people don't see that. They just looking at it from a surface level. They don't know what's going on behind the scenes that made him make that decision. You know what I'm saying? So people just do what's best for them. It's not now, you know what I'm saying? I respect it. He got to do his best. He got to do what's good for him.
Mhm. Kyrie Irving being dropped by Nike.
I feel like yo, this world is so sensitive that it's it's ridiculous. Like you can't have your your own thoughts. You can't speak. It's like you got to be filtered all the way, and you got to like conform to a certain way of thinking. And it's really like shitty that you can't really have your own thoughts in your own mind. It's like they want you to be programmed. So like even like for example, like the Kanye situation,
Mhm.
it's a lot of things. It's some things that Kanye said I don't agree with it, but that's his opinion. I don't understand why we getting worked up off of another man's opinion. That's how he feels. I don't gotta agree.
Yeah.
I don't have to. We don't have to. I don't have to cancel him. I don't gotta hate him. That's how he feel. That's not how I feel.
Yeah.
And low key, low key. I mean, he's That's for another day. I'm not even gonna.
Oh
I'm
boy,
not
he's
even.
Jay Swish is ready to get canceled up here.
Let me fall back. But yeah, I feel like this world, like this society, they just want you to want you to think like them and be programmed to a certain level of thinking. So it's just like I'm not even surprised.
Yeah, I
And,
think
and
it's ridiculous. Like, well, we see. I know you're a fan of Tory Lanez. Just look at what happened with the. I mean, the whole trial's go. The truth's going to come out. It's going to come
right,
out here now because the court's going to
it's been
reveal
dragged
that.
out for way. It's been dragged out for way too long.
Yeah, it
Way,
has
way
it.
too long.
But people have been trying to cancel him and all the stuff that he went through, and he prevailed because he just kept dropping music and he's been on this independent route, and he's going to prove to be one of the most successful independent artists of all time. And if he does beat his case, in which I'm hoping he does, okay,
Mhm.
I wouldn't sign with a major again. I wouldn't do it because I can make all this money independently.
Right, which he been doing.
Yeah.
Which he's been doing, and even with him being blackballed and not being on certain getting playlist love and stuff like that, I don't know. If you see his streams, he nearly streamed a billion streams just this
Yeah.
year, off of no playlist, no support, no nothing, just off of him and his fan base. And that's to show that when you have a real fan base, you could stand the test of time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people, they just got clout on the internet, but they can't even get 50 people to come to a show.
That's how you could really tell the truth from the surface right there. Is if you have all these streams and all these numbers, you're that
Right.
crazy. Do a show. Let's see what happens.
Because a lot of artists, they're not putting in the groundwork. They're not outside. They're not linking up with the DJs. They're not linking up with the bloggers. They're not linking up with people like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have a solid foundation. You know what it? So sometimes having a solid foundation might take a little bit more time to get up there to the pedestal, but once you do, you standing on solid ground.
You
That's what
know it,
I'm saying.
man. That's why it's going to be up from here for you. I know already, but
Man, I appreciate that, bro. For real. Thank you.
you already know LeBron James calling out the whole Jerry Jones situation. I want to get your thoughts on that as well because to me, I think LeBron is in the right because how can we go at Kyrie for this? But where's the same energy when we're not calling out Jerry Jones for being in that segregation picture?
Obviously, people be picking and choosing who they want to do certain things to. And I'm not gonna act like, you know, status and skin tone don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't be having the same energy for everybody sometimes. And that just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nowadays, it's like when certain things happen, you see certain things. It's like, are you even surprised anymore? It's just like,
No, especially with that Jerry Jones situation when LeBron James brought up that point that they're not going to ask Jerry Jones that. Let's be honest. It's because he's white. He's going to get a pass.
and then you got people like Skip Bayless talking about how, oh, he's a good guy. I never had any, like, bro.
I think the bigger disgrace is Stephen A. Smith defending
Oh, I
him.
said Skip Bayless. Stephen A. Smith, I
Yeah,
meant to say.
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah,
That's a huge disgrace.
right.
That's clown behavior. I don't have time for Stephen A. Smith. I think he clowned
Yeah,
himself there.
yeah, yeah, you know. But what can you expect from Stephen A. Smith? He's just outspoken person. He says whatever he feels and shit. And that's his experience. That's his experience. It still doesn't deny the fact what the actual facts is and what we're seeing in front of our face. We're not about to just avoid that just because you think you said you had a good experience with him and da 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 da. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to stop looking for validation. You know that we know what that is already. He's trying to get validation from the upper white guy. He's got to
Oh yeah,
stop.
exactly.
You know what I mean? It just is what it is. You know,
Exactly.
just stop it. Come back down to earth and just speak the truth. That's it. But
You know, people priorities is different. Some people want to go up the ladder by any means necessary and rub shoulders with whoever, don't get on nobody's bad side or whatever. Like, some people just don't have no integrity, and it's what it is. What it is.
exactly. But man, what do you have upcoming here besides these performances, the upcoming project? What else do you want to let your fans know?
I just want to let them know that the heat is never gonna stop coming. Watch out for the my fashion line, and we got so many other things that in the works that I don't want to speak on yet till it's really in fruition. But just know that I'm working and I'm not gonna let y'all down. And I really appreciate all the support that I've been getting from everybody. I appreciate you for even having me on your platform. Like it's really love. Like you feel me? Like I really appreciate it
You already know, man. Don't call me nothing but him. Coming soon.
for
We
sure.
could even close out with this: producers that you're going to be working with in the near future, and ones that you feel as though that have really established your sound already.
Yeah, shout out to my boy TL out in Atlanta. Shout out to Fat Boy Beats out in Atlanta. I'm working with a producer right now. He's also an artist. His name is El Saucy. Working with him right now. He's dope. So I'm just in the mix. I'm working with all the producers, and I'm really in the studio with them, like really creating the shit. It's not just send me a beat. Now we cooking up together. Like I like to be with the person in the studio, really like vibing out, because I feel like that's when the best work comes to play. And and
Absolutely.
and and building relationships, because I learned that relationships is really a big thing and key in this game. Like knowing like who you know and could go a long way.
Mhm. They always say that it's who you know, not what you know.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yep. Play the game to change that game for sure. Jay
Mhm.
Swishes, thank you again, man, for coming on the show. They can follow you on Instagram and Twitter at Jay Swishes with two eyes instead of one in the swishes.
Yeah, yeah. Two eyes instead of one. That's on every platform. Every platform. Jay Swishes.
You already know. I'm really him, available on all platforms. Thank you, Jay Swishes. Shout out to your management for setting us up. I look forward to seeing you on the big stages, getting all those billboards, and you want that mansion in Atlanta. That's coming soon too.
Nah, yeah, that's a fact. I love Atlanta. Like, I want to live out there. I want a big ass mansion out there, and just like really just, enjoy myself and really, you got to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And right now I'm working and I'm never going to stop working. And
You already know.
hopefully when I come back on your platform again, yeah, I'm in a penthouse suite up in LA or some shit like that. I might invite you out. I'm like, yo, come let's do the interview in the penthouse suite in LA. Fuck it.
For
Why not?
sure, man. I'd be down. Shout out to everything that you're doing, and all these
Mhm.
fruits of labor are going to be coming soon for you, man. Because I can tell just by
Yo,
listening
thank
to the
you.
songs and Jumanji. That's got to shoot up. I mean, come on, because it's the creativity behind it. It's like how the hell? It's like one of those. It's what I can compare it to, and it's not in the same sounding wise, but when we
Mhm.
look at songs as like Cream, Cash Rules,
Right.
everything around. Like, how the hell did they come up with that?
Shit, like when I was recording Jumanji, I recorded these two projects in Atlanta. Like I did mostly a lot of my new recordings in the A. Um, we was about to go. I was just finishing up like a long session. Like I was going to the studio every day from I wake up to like 12 midnight, maybe 1 in the morning type thing. And we was about to go to the club. And I was just in that vibe. I was already saucy. I was already vibing. I'm just like, yo, let me make one more record before we leave the studio. And it so happened I made that record. And it should we when we heard when I after I finished recording it, everybody in the studio was just like, what the fuck? Like this shit is slapping. Like, so
And
I
you were having
really
Taco
appreciate
Bell
that.
too.
Yeah, yeah. I try to be really creative when I'm making my records. Like it's like that's what art is. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I don't gotta do what everybody else is doing. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna make my own masterpiece. You know what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
what
There's
we
no
have
rules
here.
to this. There's no rules to this shit.
No, I think that's the whole control mentality. I think when you start thinking out of the box, that's when you really change the game.
Right. That's a fact. That's a fact. And now I'm really just trying to make sure that people know that the type of artist that I am, I'm different and I'm a really creative person and I'm all about quality. You know what I'm saying? Anything that comes from Jay Swish's camp is quality.
Quality over
So
quantity all
that's
day
how I
for
feel.
sure.
All day.
You already know. Jay Swishes, thanks
Yeah,
again, man. Until next time,
man. Appreciate you, bro.
you already know, man. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Stay safe out there. All right.
You too, bro.
Peace out, man.
Peace out.